Hello YouTube. It is Sunday, the last day of my weekend, so I've got to go back to work. And I've got the dogs playing out here outside, and I'm wearing my purple hat that I absolutely love. And I don't care if you don't like it, because what we're going to talk about today is witching your way. What I mean by witching your way is being true and being authentic to who you are. So if I want to wear a purple hat that nobody else is going to get, tie my hair to the side and wear a tank top, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wear it. So witching your way. When we first start out on our path, the majority of us either have found somebody that connects with us or awakens that need for a more matriarchal spirituality. Sorry, stand by. Or we've read it in a book, or we've just kind of found it within ourselves. But the first thing normally that we do is we go and we buy books and we research, and we buy books and we research, because most of us as witches, that's what we do. We love to read and we research. And that's great. That's especially great, especially for somebody who's just getting their feet wet, sticking their toes in the sand, so to say, of the shore that is paganism. Because we all know there is an ocean of knowledge out there. Not all of it is right, and not all of it applies to us. But at the beginning, we all are knowledge seekers. We all are newbies, newbie witches. We all are floundering around trying to grasp a hold of something that makes sense to us. And a lot of that comes in the form of a book or a person that we resonate with, like I've said. But at some point we all start wondering, well, I got away from this patriarchal, rigid, dogma religious society and went towards paganism because it was more free-flowing, and then we get into this, well, ritual has to be this way, and circle has to be this way, and you have to put a goddess statuette and a god statue on one side of the altar. It can't be on the other side. It has to be on the left side if it's goddess, and the right side if it's male, and you have to call the quarters. Like, when we first got jumped into it, it was because we needed that washover of cold water, meaning that we needed a refreshing, we needed refreshed, we needed awakened. Well, we got away from that, and then we went right back into it. Most of us have been in that. Well, we do good, we do a year and a day study before we become an initiate or whatever, and then it becomes very stagnant. It becomes very droll. It's the same thing every day, right? And we start to question, well, why am I doing this the way everybody else is doing this? A purple hat I keep looking at. I've got on the sparkles. By sparkles, I mean the light coming through. We say, why are we doing this? Are we doing it just because a book says that this is the way that we're supposed to do it? Are we doing it because Scott Cunningham or Raymond Buckland or Starhawk or whoever said that this is the way that it's supposed to be done, and everybody out there is doing it the exact same way? Well, why? Why do I have to do ritual the same way that you do? Why do I have to use an herb that I don't like just because that's what it calls for? Making sure my puppies haven't run off. Why should I listen to country music just because I'm from the Appalachian Mountains and I hate country? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we begin to say, oh, well, this is just the way that it's just supposed to be. Well, there is no way that it's supposed to be, because we are all brilliantly unique. We are all kick-ass, unique witches who can do whatever we want to do and whatever resonates with us. If I want to use wildflowers instead of growing a specific herb, then why can't I do it? If that's what resonates with me and that's what makes sense to me, then why can't I do it? And it goes the same with with you. Be your own witch. Be your own witch. When making a book of shadows, you don't have to write down everything that everybody else has. You don't have to do a book lesson. You don't have to do basic circle, basic altar setup. You don't have to write down the Sabbats. You don't have to write down all of this, or you don't have to have a reference or anything like that. You don't have to do anything. There's nobody out there that's telling you that there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. But find out what works for you. That's all about hodgepodge witchery. That's what I keep talking about. I don't even know how this hat's supposed to go. Is that right? Like this? I'm gonna wear it. I don't care. I'm still wearing it. Anyway, if a ritual or a spell in a book doesn't seem right to you, then change it. If it doesn't seem sacred to you, or there's something in it that just you really don't want in there, or that makes you uncomfortable and you aren't ready to take that step, or whatever your reasoning may be, you don't need validation from anybody but yourself. So if it works for you, I've got something in my eye. If it works for you, then do it. If it doesn't, then change it until it does. The more that you practice, the more that you know yourself, the more that you trust yourself, the easier it's going to be to witch your own way. The easier it's going to be more comfortable in what you do. We all have personal strengths and weaknesses. We all have things that we can do better than some others, and we have things that we absolutely cannot do. I am not a tech savvy witch. I am not. I break things that are electrical. You're lucky I have a YouTube channel. But just because somebody else is good at something does not mean that you have to be as well. It does not mean that you have to work and spend all of your energy on astral projection if you just don't feel the urge to do it, or you just can't do it. And I believe that everybody can do it. I believe everybody can work on something. You can build a skill. But if it's not something that you want to do, you don't have to do it. Things take time to learn, so don't be afraid to lean on your strengths and be authentic. If you want to cover yourself in tattoos, witchy tattoos, if you want to express yourself through art and never write a word in a book of shadows, or if you never want to say a word in ritual, if you want everything to be silent, if you feel that you hate sage, you hate white sage, and everybody swears by it, so what? You don't have to do it. If you like dubstep, don't use folk music in your rituals just because you feel like you have to. If you don't feel like you have to call the quarters or cast a circle, then don't do it. You don't have to. Like I said, if you hate sage, then don't do it. Don't use sage. If you feel that you are a morning person and you can't stay up late at night, then why do you have to be up at midnight in order to cast a certain spell because the timing is right? It adds to it, sure, but if it's not working for you, then don't go against yourself. Don't work harder than you have to. You don't, like I've said again, you do not need validation from anybody about your specific practice, about the way that you do things, about the way that you do spells, about the herbs that you use, about the way that you write, the way that you talk, the way that you think, the way that you dress. You do not need validation from anybody to be your own specific, unique brand of witch, shaman, whatever, priestess. You need no validation. It's just between you and beings that you want it to be between. Deity, nature spirits, your, I don't know if y'all can hear RJ or not, but he is mad that I'm not playing with him. Your spirit guides, your ancestors, if you want it to be between you and them, then that's fine. But you still don't need their validation. If it works for you, you are the one that's on your specific spiritual path. I don't know what he's barking at. You do not have to be so rigid with things that you don't leave yourself room to grow. Leave yourself room to grow. Allow yourself to grow. If something that you've done 1,000 times over suddenly stops working for you, guess what? You can change it. You can use what works, and you can throw away what doesn't work anymore. That's the beautiful thing about life, is that life changes and life goes on. And people change. Everybody changes. It's okay. You may have worked with a specific deity for years and years and years, and then wake up one day and it does not work anymore. The dynamics have changed, or you passed the time in your life where you needed that deity to be there, and now you passed it. Now you're done. Keep moving forward. Keep changing. There is no right way to do things, and a lot of people will tell you that there absolutely is. Well, if it works for you and you get the results, then that's all that really matters. Most of us go to this path, like I said, because we were so done with the patriarchal religion. So don't allow yourself to get stagnant. Be your own authentic, beautiful self, and witch the way that you want to witch. Find your skill set. Practice until you find your skill set. Find something that you're good at, and then own it. Own it. Yeah, I think I've rambled on. I think you know what I'm trying to say. Picking up what I'm laying down. Yeah, own your own type of witchery. Be your own witch. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't. Because you do not need validation to be you. On that note, a ramble of almost 13 minutes about witching your own way. I hope you all have a great day and a good week if I don't talk to you until the weekend. Next weekend, whenever I talk to you again, have a great time until then. And until then, blessed be. Bye guys. Stop. Quit.